It is fully covered.
Part 2. On the road, navigation and gas stations.
Step 4. Navigation and road signs.
And welcome back to Me Too English Club. We are now moving out of the airport and into the driver's seat. You've adjusted your mirrors, fastened your seatbelt, and turned on the engine. The very first tool you need to rely on is your navigation, commonly referred to as the GPS.
I always rely on Google Maps or Apple Maps on my smartphone, but let me tell you, when you are driving in a foreign country, hearing that computerized English voice suddenly bark directions at you can be incredibly stressful.
It really can, especially when you're trying to watch traffic. That's why you need to familiarize yourself with common navigation phrases. Perhaps the most famous feature of European and British roads is the roundabout.
Ah, the dreaded roundabout. Back home, we mostly have standard four-way intersections with traffic lights, but abroad, these circular intersections are everywhere. If you don't know what you're doing, you can literally get trapped driving in circles forever.
Exactly. To exit a roundabout correctly, you need to listen closely to your GPS. The voice will typically say, "At the roundabout, take the second exit."
Take the second exit. That means when I enter the circular intersection, I bypass the first street on my right and turn off into the second street, right? I literally have to count the streets while driving. Let's practice saying this out loud. Take the second exit. Take the second exit.
Perfect. Additionally, you must keep your eyes peeled for local road signs. For instance, if you see a sign that says one way, it means traffic flows in only a single direction. Do not turn down that street if the arrow points against you. Another crucial word is yield.
Yield. That's a word I don't use very often in daily conversation. Yield. What exactly does that mean for a driver?
It means you do not have the right of way. You must slow down, look for oncoming vehicles, and let other cars go first before you safely merge into traffic. It's identical to the give way sign used in the UK.
Step 5. The gas station. Petrol station.
Now, let's fast forward a few hours. You've been driving around, enjoying the beautiful scenery, but you look down and notice your dashboard fuel gauge is dropping. Your tank is running low. You need to pull over and find a gas station.
And as you mentioned earlier, if I'm driving in the UK, Ireland, or Australia, I should look for signs saying petrol station or forecourt instead of gas station.
Precisely. Now here is a major cultural shift for many travelers. In most Western countries, gas stations are completely self-service. There's no friendly attendant waiting to pump the gas for you. You have to do everything yourself.
This is where my anxiety spikes. I get out of the car, walk up to the machine, and see a bunch of different colored handles. How do I know which one is the correct petrol?
Look very closely at the labels written on the pump. For standard gasoline cars, you want to look for the word unleaded. This is the standard, everyday fuel for regular rental vehicles. Avoid anything labeled premium or super unless your car specifically requires it.
Unleaded. Listeners, let's practice this vocabulary word because it's vital. Unleaded.
Now, depending on the country, you might pay with the card directly at the pump, or you might have to fill up first and then pay inside the convenience store. If you pay inside, you must look at the ground or the top of the machine to find your pump number.
Pump number. So if I'm standing at machine number 3, I fill up my car, walk inside to the cashier, and state my pump number to pay.
Exactly. If you want to pay a specific amount, you can say to the cashier, $50 on pump number 3, please. Let's practice that.
$50 on pump number 3, please. But Emily, what if I don't want a specific amount? What if I'm dropping off the rental car tomorrow and the contract says I must return it with a completely full tank of fuel?
Excellent question. If you want to fill the tank to the absolute maximum, you just walk up to the cashier and say this classic phrase, "Fill it up, please."
Fill it up, please. That is incredibly simple and highly useful.
Step 6. Parking problems. Now that your car is fully fueled, you arrived at your destination city, but finding a place to leave your vehicle can quickly become a stressful nightmare in historic foreign cities with narrow roads. You must read roadside parking signs with extreme care.
Yes, I remember a friend who went to Europe, parked on a street that looks totally empty, came back an hour later, and his car was gone because he missed a sign. I saw a sign once that read, resident parking only. What does that mean?
It means exactly what it says. That specific street parking is reserved exclusively for the local people who actually live in that neighborhood and possess a special permit sticker. If you park your rental car there as a tourist, you will definitely get a hefty ticket, or worse, your car will be towed away.
Oh, absolutely not. I do not want a massive fine ruining my vacation budget. What about the signs that say pay at meter or pay and display?
That means parking is legal, but it isn't free. You need to look around on the sidewalk for a small electronic machine called a parking meter. You insert your coins or credit card, select how many hours you want to stay, print out a small paper receipt, and place that receipt clearly on your car's dashboard so traffic police can see it through the windshield.
Ah, pay at meter. Got it. Well, at least signs that say no parking with a big red circle or cross are universally easy to understand.
Step 7. Emergencies. Breakdown and flat tire. Hopefully, your road trip goes completely smoothly, but as responsible travelers, we always have to prepare for the worst-case scenario. What happens if you're driving down a highway and suddenly hear a loud pop, or your engine starts making an awful noise and shuts off? This is known as a breakdown.
Oh, I would absolutely panic. Being stranded on the side of a highway in a foreign country where I don't speak the language fluently sounds like a horror movie lineup. Who do I even call?
Do not panic. First, safely pull over to the shoulder of the road, turn on your hazard lights, and look inside your glove compartment or at the car windows. Rental companies always provide a dedicated hotline for roadside assistance.
Okay, so I dial the number, someone answers in English, and they ask what the issue is. Do I just say, help, my car has a big problem?
Try to be as specific as possible so they send the right mechanic. If one of your wheels loses all of its air, you should say, I have a flat tire. Let's practice that.
I have a flat tire.
If the engine overheats or simply refuses to start up again, you can use the general phrase, my car broke down.
My car broke down. And after I explain the mechanical problem, I assume I should give them my exact location using landmarks or GPS coordinates from my phone so they can actually find me.
Exactly. Telling them I'm on Highway M4 heading westbound near milestone marker 25 will get help to you much faster.
Practice segment. Refueling and directions.
Let's consolidate everything we've discussed in this second half of the episode. These are your ultimate survival phrases for navigating, refueling, and staying safe on the road. Listeners, please listen closely and repeat each phrase right after Paul.
Take the third exit at the roundabout. Where is the nearest gas station? $50 on pump number 2, please. Can I park here? I have a flat tire. Can you help me?
Outstanding job, Paul. Your pronunciation was perfectly clear. Listeners, think of these sentences as your absolute linguistic safety net while operating a vehicle abroad.
Full series conclusion.
Well, everyone, we have officially reached the end of our comprehensive 2-part car rental and driving series.
We covered a massive amount of ground today. We learned how to tackle the rental counter, the difference between full coverage and being already covered, choosing between manual and automatic, identifying petrol versus diesel, navigating roundabouts, and filling up with unleaded fuel.
You are officially ready to hit the road with total confidence, Paul. Just remember one final golden rule of international travel. Always double-check which side of the street you're supposed to be driving on.
Oh, absolutely. In countries like the UK, Japan, Australia, and New Zealand, they drive on the left side of the road, which completely flips your entire spatial awareness. That can be incredibly confusing at first.
Exactly. Take it very slow, stay alert, and prioritize your safety above everything else. To all of our lovely listeners out there, we want to know your travel preferences. Do you prefer renting a car and driving yourself on a trip, or do you prefer relaxing and taking the train? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below.
We absolutely love reading through your travel stories and comments. Thank you so much for joining us and learning today on the Me Too English Club.
Keep practicing your English every single day, look both ways before turning, and we will see you all in our very next episode.
Goodbye, everyone. Safe travels.
Bye-bye.